A sub I worked with was bragging about their biggest year ever. We hit $4.2 million last year. I asked, great. How much did you get to keep? They paused, looked at their books. About 90,000. I didn't say anything. Just let that sit. That's 2% margin. And that's not winning. That's sprinting with your shoes untied and hoping that you don't fall. Here's an example. Take company A. They had $4.2 million of revenue. At a 2% margin, that's $84,000 of profit. But company B, they did half the amount of revenue, $2.1 million. Their margin was 15%. Their profit was $315,000. One was overwhelmed and underpaid. The other is in control and keeps more than half without the chaos. And this isn't actually two different companies. This is one company after going through strategic planning and job costing. See, most subs chase the top line because they think more jobs equals more profit. But if every job is running at 4%, and you need to float labor and material and overhead before cash even shows up, you're working for free. Or even worse, you're paying to work. The higher the revenue went, the more stress that they got. More field hours, more billing delays, retention stacking up, but no one was watching the margin curve. So what is profit margin? Profit margin is the percentage of revenue that you keep after job costs. It's not your net margin or your net income. It's not your cash in the bank. It's what's left over after materials, labor, subcontractors, equipment, tools, direct job expenses, all before overhead. Here's an example. Revenue, $250,000. Job costs, $200,000. Gross profit, $50,000. That means your gross margin was 20%. By taking $50,000 divided by $250,000, that's how you calculate your job profit margin. That's the number you should be watching every single week. You don't scale your way out of the margin problems. You fix that margin problem first, and then you scale. Otherwise, you're just building a bigger machine that leaks and bleeds faster. Most margin losses come from things that you don't track. Labor overruns, equipment sitting idle, underbilled change orders, overhead buried into job costs, or job costs buried into overhead. These aren't accounting problems. These are operation problems. Let me just give you a simple rule of thumb. If you're under $10 million revenue and not running at 15% gross margin or better, you're either underbidding, overstaffed, overpaying, or not tracking anything tightly enough to even know. I'm not impressed by $5 million companies barely scraping by at 2%. I'm impressed by $2 million companies with 20% margin, clean books, and cash in the bank. That's a business in control. Anyone can bid low and stay busy. But if you want to stay in the game long enough to win, you better know your margin. And you better protect it like your business depends on it. Because it does.